Well, undoubtedly the rise was real, but the Buffaloes ran into reality here at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, in the Alamo Bowl as they fall to Oklahoma State 38-8. Everybody welcome in at the Stampede once again. I'm Mark Johnson along with Coach Gary Barnett. Buffalo's season comes to an end with 2 losses in a row. They fall to 10-4 in the season. Of course, they won the South Division Championship of the Pac-12 with an 8-1 record. But, Coach, when you look back on this one, when they played those top 10 teams, they ran into trouble. They surely did in this ballgame.
Well, and I think we need to separate those 4 top 10 teams out away from what the whole season was, and we way overperformed anybody's expectations. No one saw 10 coming, and the games we were supposed to win, we won, and that's a sign of good coaching, and that's a sign of kids listening. We got ourselves involved with 4 teams that were probably better than we were. And we slugged it out with Michigan. We slugged it out with SC. And, we didn't do such a good slugging it out against didn't do very well slugging against Washington. And we certainly didn't do a very good job slugging it out against Oklahoma State tonight. But the important thing is we were in the fight. And the way you get better is by playing better people. And we earned the right to play 2 of those teams that were better than we were. And we have a chance to look at it as a team, as a coach, as a program, that, you know what, we know what we got to do now. The other 2 games were on our schedule. We couldn't do anything about them. We're going to play one of them next year for sure. But you don't get better unless you play better people. And we did that tonight. We played a better team.
Gary and I talked about this late in the radio broadcast. I think what we saw here as this year wore on was the lack of depth for Colorado became an issue. You used the term we were leaking oil late in the season. That depth was tested, and that's the next step then for this program is to kind of build that depth, correct?
Mark, in our very first broadcast this year, you said what was the key, and I said I'm going to give you the key to the season. I said number 1, we got to stay healthy. You know what? We didn't do a bad job of that.
Yeah.
But in the end, we probably were not as healthy as we could have been in the last game. And then I said the senior leadership has got to take over this football team and take it where it's capable of going. And I think both of those things happened. We got lucky in that we stayed healthy, but in the end, health hurt us against Michigan. It hurt us against Washington. It may have hurt us against SC. I'm not sure. And it hurt us tonight.
Sure.
So we were lucky enough to win 10. And then our senior leaders did just an incredible job, I think, and credit goes there to the coaches as well. But between those 2 groups, I think we had great leadership in this program this year.
A guy like Sefo Lufau, he leads this program with 98 career records. He led this team to a 10-win season here in his senior campaign. He took a lot of criticism over the course of his career, a lot of it unfair. I thought he handled it beyond the measure of maturity for anybody. I don't care what age you are. He's a guy that walks away from this thing, and I think I said late in the broadcast, he's got to be the poster boy of what you're looking for in a student athlete, doesn't he?
Absolutely, and he carries himself so well, and he says the right things. And people like that are looked up to in that locker room. He doesn't have any frailties. He doesn't have anything that someone can attack in his character, and that's what leaders are. That's right. That they become leaders. People like that, and he could stand up. And we heard one of the players tonight in one of the interviews say, what'd you learn from Sefo? He says he is such an incredible leader. He works so hard, and he leads by example. He won't ask you to do anything that he won't do. And when you got somebody like that, you can do a lot of things, and especially as your quarterback.
Yeah, that comment was by Steven Montez, who appears to be the heir apparent of the quarterback position. So, lastly here, what's the next step for the Colorado Buffaloes under Mike McIntyre in this program?
Well, time-wise, it's finish off your recruiting class. The next thing that happens is you evaluate everything that happened. He's got to settle his staff down. Then you evaluate everything that happened throughout the year, and you look at it objectively. You go stand in front of the mirror naked, and you see what your issues were and what they are, and then you set out to try to decide how to fix them. If it means going and visiting other places, if it means changing a scheme, if it means doing something different, it means more time in a weight room or whatever, you make those decisions and then you put that plan to work, and then you sell your players on that plan.
Well, undoubtedly, the rise was real. It was a great season, a historic season. In fact, the greatest turnaround in Pac-12 history as the Buffaloes' 2016 campaign comes to an end here in San Antonio in the Alamo Bowl, 38-8, as the Buffs fall to the Oklahoma State Cowboys.